Okay, good.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so today I want to talk about relationships, but very
You want,
specific.
well,
But
well,
very,
well, well, you
what?
want to talk to me about relationship?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know a lot. I'm basically an expert, but I thought maybe you might have a few gems of insight to polish my knowledge base.
Okay. Our relationship or someone's
Yes,
relationship?
yeah. We should talk about our relationship because it feels really stressful and strained, and like we have communication issues, and and that shirt. Why are you
Yeah,
always fucking wearing blue shirts?
exactly. Okay, so talk to me. What do you want to talk to me about?
Okay, so there's a couple of things that I see happening a lot in modern relationships, and um, these issues I see that people keep going through again and again and again. So the main one that I see, especially here in Miami, is that people kind of consistently continue to just date more and more and more people. And I hear about it from my girlfriends and from my guy friends that everybody kind of has an idea like there's always someone else that they're looking for the one, and they just keep searching. And even though they may have someone totally amazing in their life, they will cheat, they will see other people. And why does this keep happening? Like
Okay.
why are people so hungry for whatever that
Okay, so
is?
you have a few questions within that question. So the first question that you're asking is why people jump from one relationship to another, why they cannot get stable. And in order to understand what's going on there, we need to understand, first of all, a basic principle, and then we'll see how it applies to that. So the basic principle is fake reality. Fake reality is a piece of information you're 100% sure is correct, but when you use it, it does not bring you the expected result. And one of the areas that is filled with fake realities is relationship. And the quality of your relationship will define how much money you have, how healthy you are, how happy you are. So relationship is really, really important. And the fake reality that people have is that they're going to find a perfect match.
A perfect match.
Yeah, or that there is someone that is perfect and they just need to find it.
So that's why they just keep searching, and destroying anything even good in their life.
Yeah, because the decision is to find, and what you're going to do is to look in order to find. So if you say I need to find something, it means that it's always hidden, so you will not find it.
And so you download more dating apps. So you have Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and and you keep searching and you don't find.
Exactly. So the key actually is to understand that there's no such thing as perfect match. Perfect match you create. Like anything in life, you create the relationship, you create the perfect match. So it's not something that will come to you. You're not going to get a package ready of exactly what you want. There's no such thing. And even if you think that there was such thing, and even if you see in movies that there is such thing as perfect love, the guy meets the lady and she's perfect in all aspects. I don't know if you noticed, but movies take an hour, and the relationship takes to look for and until they meet is about 45 minutes, and more or less 5 minutes of good relationship in a movie. That's what a relationship like that would survive. 5 minutes.
Right. So life is not like the movies. So what I hear you saying is that you don't find the perfect relationship, you create it. But what do you do if you understand that you create it, but the other person doesn't understand and they keep how do you create it? It takes two. So how does that really work?
It's actually very fascinating what you said right now. It takes two or more people to destroy a relationship. to create or fix a relationship, it takes one.
Ah.
Fascinating. It takes two to destroy, but it takes one to create. It takes one to fix a relationship. And for as long as you don't know it, you will always blame the other side. Because by the definition of the word responsibility, when you are responsible for something, you control you and the other side. So relationship you create, and you create it by, first of all, understanding that you create it, taking responsibility and controlling the other side. And when I say controlling the other side, I don't mean just hitting them or something like that.
What do you mean? When you say controlling the side, give me like practical, applicable things. What do you mean?
I mean getting knowledge and giving the other side enough communication and enough knowledge that the result is that you can determine the outcome. Control, you can say, the ability to determine the outcome. So in order for me to have an ability to determine the outcome with you, I need to communicate enough so you understand my viewpoint and I understand your viewpoint, and by that I can actually align our viewpoints, because a problem is a force counter force. You've got force and counter force. But if I communicate with you and I turn your force to be in exact direction with me, I can control you to wherever I want. This is really Aikido or any kind of those martial arts that use the power of the opponent against him. Just here, it's not against you, it's for us.
It's not against you, it's for us. I feel like that's a t-shirt. I really like that.
Yeah.
How to make relationships work. Okay, so that's a wonderful idea. I like it a lot.
That was the first part of your question.
Oh, the second, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so in the second part of your question is why people jump from one relationship to another, and why they're cheating. That's really the question.
Yes. Why are they cheating?
Yeah. So in order for a person to cheat, he has to have a very low viewpoint on himself. Otherwise, he will never cheat.
What do you mean by that? Hold on.
A very low level of creation, or the lowest level of creation,
is cheating. Like lying. Lying, I think, is also pretty low.
Yeah. So when a person cannot create a relationship, when a person cannot create a business, when a person cannot create something, the only way for him to have anything is by cheating, is by committing a sin.
It's that kind of havingness. Okay.
The only thing that they can have then later is something broken. They cannot have something else. And in order to recover that, in order to correct that, you need really to understand the subject of what does it mean to not to just become ethical, because ethical is actually the ability to make the right decision. So how does a person become ethical? By removing fake realities, not by adding data, by removing fake realities. So if I'll teach you something that is really true, I will remove fake reality for you, and at that moment, in that area, you'll become a little bit more ethical, and at that moment, at that area, you will demonstrate more control. And since you're demonstrating control, what you actually doing, you're creating the outcome. Makes sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I just have to like replay some of the things that I hear, because I have a lot of girlfriends and they have a lot of relationship troubles. What?
If you want, I can press the replay button.
In my head. Okay. So the thing that I hear a lot is people are very indecisive. So they find someone they like, and the person, like from their description, is someone that I would agree is probably a good match. They have similar purposes, they like a lot of the same things, they have good chemistry. But what happens is that then they start something happens where they disconnect for a day or two, and then my friend will be like, oh well, so I went out with this other guy, and I'm like, but why? You like this person? So they go out with another guy, and then they're like, I don't know. And it's like this constant checklist in their minds. And they're, even though they found somebody, I'm someone who hasn't found someone in a long time. So I'm surprised you found someone you like, but then you go and you look for more. This is confusing to me. And I don't understand what the impulse is, because if you found somebody you like I wouldn't go, I would just stay home and read books. I'm a little confused. Like, you found someone you like, but then they don't talk to you for a day, or there's something, and you go and find another. So why is there this constant, even though you found, why do you keep looking?
Okay, so the first thing was that in your mind, you think that there is a perfect package, but there is another thing, that if you already have a relationship and the relationship seems to be, I'm talking about a person that have a relationship for a few months and then he has another relationship or another relationship. The only reason that happened is because there's something that's called a relationship destroyer.
Uh-oh.
Now this person or type of, at any given time, when you, as I told you earlier, in order to create a relationship, you need one person, but to destroy you need two or more. That person is the two or more that creating the destruction. There are relationship destroyers, and there are quite a few type of relationship destroyers. Actually, there are 16 altogether. And once you know how to recognize them, you will be able to spot them, and you will not allow them to be in your vicinity, and so your relationship will survive. Because if you started a relationship and it started to go 1, 2, 3 months, and all of a sudden it got destroyed, you have a relationship destroyer you are not aware of. You are 100% not aware of, and what you get is a broken relationship. Now, when we see a broken relationship, we can look at that as a problem that is unresolved. A broken relationship is an unresolved problem. And a problem that is unresolved only because you are trying to resolve the wrong problem. The only reason you cannot solve a problem that you're trying to solve is because you're trying to solve the wrong problem. And an unresolved problem, like a relationship problem, what you're trying to resolve is the manifestation of the relationship destroyer.
I understand. So I need to know, give me some.
Once you know those relationship destroyers, you'll be able to very quickly spot them and handle them.
Okay, that's great. What are some of them?
Oh, that we will learn in the relationship seminar.
I understand, but give me one. What's one relationship destroyer? Come on.
Okay, one relationship destroyer. One relationship destroyer is a person that always contact you with bad news. Always. Whenever he calls you, whatever you say, he will tell you bad news. He will create such a bad news for you with yourself, for you with your friends, for you with your wife, for you with everyone, because he's always giving you bad news, always. And the end result is that when someone like that see only bad news, he cannot control it. But he's not just saying, well, your wife is really bad, but he would just innuendo. He would just give you something. He would say, well, let's say me and you are a husband and wife, and this guy come to me and say, well, Ray.
It's a lot. It's a long word.
Any word that I would say is too much. He didn't say anything, but it's a bad news. He is somehow making you less, somehow making the other person or yourself as being wrong or not right. And because of that, the relationship gets destroyed. Now, they can do that in many, many, many ways.
So this is a third person. It's a third party.
It can be a third party. It can be your wife. It can be someone within the relationship. It can be me and you, and I will do that to you. as I said, two or more. It doesn't need to be what?
You would never. You're such a positive.
Let's say that I'm in a relationship with you, yes? But if I will do that, that's what it is. So it doesn't have to be a third person, like two and a third person. It's two or more. It can be 2 people, 3 people. It can be that you have 4 people at the same time, and one person being bombarded by 4 people about how bad is that guy, and all of a sudden the relationship with that guy is gone, is destroyed. Now you read, there's a whole specific method of spotting those people and handling them, because it's not that they're bad people, it's just that they're
stuck.
This characteristic. I said that every person have a scratch, one or more, and there's not one person in the universe other than me and you, of course, that have no scratches. Yeah, that have no scratches. So if you're looking for someone without scratches, you will need to move to the moon or somewhere, because on Earth there's no people with no scratches.
Right.
And the scratches are always bad from your viewpoint. It's always bad from your viewpoint. It's always bad. So, for example, you will talk to most people and they will tell you, well, it's really bad. This guy is a liar. So, okay, good. How bad it is? Extremely bad. How much from 1 to 10? 10. Good. Are you lying? And he says, well, I'm
just white lies.
I do. He will tell you, yes, I do, but it's white lies.
It's to protect people. I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah, he has white lies. And I said, what do you mean white lies? Did you paint them yourself? What do you mean white lies? What he means, he means that his lies, his scratches are not so bad, but your scratches are extremely bad. Or, he tell you, I'm never late for meeting. Okay, good. Are you late for answering your emails? Are you late for any payment? Are you late to telling someone what you need to tell them? Well, that's different. Your late is not so bad. My late is extreme bad. That's the issue. Everyone has scratches. Everyone has scratches. And if you don't learn how to recognize those scratches and actually handle them, not just disconnect, handle them.
That's what people used to do. That's the thing, is that people find a flaw in somebody and then they're like, oh, well, he's flawed, she's flawed, so in this one area, and they throw them away.
Yeah, so, and they're not flawed. Those people are not flawed. It's just, I don't know how to fix them. Because if I say you are flawed and you're not good for me, what do I mean? I mean you are cause and I'm effect. And if you want to know anything, if you are in the right frame of mind or in the wrong frame of mind, simply check. Does it make you more cause or more effect? Are you more in control or less in control? Are you determining the outcome more or less? That's what we'll tell you if you're in the right path or you're in the path to nowhere.
And since like knowing you and working with you, I will say that normally in the past, I would have been like, oh, okay, I don't know what to do with this person. I'm just not going to deal with it. And now I have a totally different viewpoint. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I'm going to run towards him. I'm just going to be like, because now I've realized, like, I'm not sure what the outcome is going to be. I'm just going to keep knocking and keep saying, hey, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? And then at some point, but in the past, I wouldn't have done that. But when we get back to relationships, you see that this makes sense. Like, am I more cause? But the thing that I hear people do is, at what point, like, you find someone, you're attracted to them, but at what point do you decide it's too much of a project and you're like, it's not worth it and you should keep shopping? Because this is the thing I hear, is like how much of a project it is. It's not a thing I say because I don't really date. It's a thing I hear.
If it happens to you that 2-3% of your relationship are too much of a project, fine, I understand. But you look at the numbers, you actually check at the percentage of the relationship that are too much of a project. And if it's more than 2-3%, you're doing something wrong. You need to start learning how to handle your relationship or how to create your relationship. Because there is maybe 2-3% of people that are so scratched that we need to put them away for the moment. But most people are basically good, and the scratches is with us, not with them. Usually 99% of the cases, when someone tell you, you did so bad, something like that, I'm trying to find the camera. Yes. See what he's trying to say is, God will help me to explain how you are to blame at what I've done, 3 fingers towards me. God will help me to explain how you are to blame at what I've done. So when someone finds fault with you, generally we transmitting what you did wrong.
Okay, and I found this to be really true after working with you for a while. But what do you do when you're dating, and like I have girlfriends and they have these relationships where people find fault with them a lot. So what does the person who's being found at fault, how do they?
Obviously, let's say I'm finding fault with you and you are beautiful. Yeah, but let's say I'm finding fault with you and you are beautiful. What should you do? Yes. The only thing that I would do if I was you is I would know that this person that finds fault with me is really weak, and he doesn't know how to create a relationship, and he's actually asking me for help. So what will I do? First of all, I will listen to him and really understand him. Really understand him. Totally acknowledge him, understand him, because the thing that people want the most is to be understood. And it's not easy when someone stabbing, I don't know, needles into your...
I don't like your nose, I don't like your face, I don't like your attitude, you're too pushy, you're too lazy, whatever.
Yeah. So when they do that, you just understand, acknowledge, and just understand them. And then once they went over that, because it will finish, and we'll do a drill within a second, you'll see it will go away. Then you ask them, so tell me, have you ever done something similar to that?
Because they're upset by the thing that they've done.
Let's do an exercise. You find fault with me, like I'm a boyfriend.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's easy.
Okay. Listen, Meir, you're really lazy. You sleep too much, and you don't return emails. And I call you, and you don't answer, and it's exhausting. Like I'm not really sure what to do with you.
I understand. It is. I sleep too much. I don't return emails, and I understand that you don't know what to do with me.
You know what else? You wear blue shirts, and it's not a good color on you. And I keep telling you this, but you don't listen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for telling me again. I really appreciate it.
Great.
Let me just say, WhatsApp, so we won't get this.
The sound. Listen, yes. And here's another thing. We're trying to do a podcast, and you couldn't think ahead to close your WhatsApp. Like, it's very irresponsible.
That's very right. Tell me more.
And that plant behind you, the green doesn't go with your shirt, which also doesn't go with your eyes. Like, your eyes are blue, your shirt shouldn't be blue.
I got you. Thank you. What else? Tell me more.
Yeah, it's quite hard to pick on you, but I can keep going. You know what? You reply emails sometimes too fast. I write you when I expect like a 2-hour time lag, and then you get back to me immediately. And I really wanted the lag so I could think about things. Okay,
I understand. What else?
I can keep going because I'm creative, but I understand your point.
You will see that you will not be able to keep going because I close the cycles. You will see that you will not be able, you will yourself realize that something is wrong.
Yeah, of course, I'm role-playing the wrong side.
Any person will realize that something is wrong, not with me, but with him, because I accept, I acknowledge it, I close the cycle. And if you would just be able to do that without getting all upset from the words that you said, you will see that actually the other person will become the nicest, most unbelievable, beautiful person in the universe automatically.
So how do you acknowledge? Okay, so right there, you said, I understand, I hear you, my shirts are terrible, whatever. Well, you repeated back essentially what I said to you.
Sometimes I repeat back if I want to really, if I see that you may not fully duplicate, I repeat it back so you know that I heard that. Sometimes it's enough to say, okay, thank you. I just need to make sure that you are sure that I understood, because that's what you want. You want to be understood. And I'm giving you that. And you just want to be understood. All the rest is really a show. You want to be understood. You don't want me killed. You don't want me to feel bad. All of this thing is not you. You want to be understood. You, the spirit, want to be understood. That's all. Nothing more.
What you're saying is that at a certain point, when you understand somebody, you acknowledge what they're saying, that they won't be so upset.
Mm-hmm. Because they're not upset about you. They're upset about being misunderstood for long time. And that's why you may need to acknowledge them for more than a minute.
And
because
that's why
they've been understood for many years. And if you need to acknowledge them for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour, it's nothing in relationship to the number of times they've been misunderstood. Make sense?
Yeah, I understand. So this is kind of like two-person relationship therapy. Yeah, if you're dating someone and they come to you and they're criticizing you and they're really upset and they're charged, and instead of like listening really to like the accusations and the meanness or whatever they say, you're actually just listening to the person who's frustrated and doesn't feel right and doesn't know how to feel close to you. You're listening to that and you're just kind of going through this acknowledgement. So you hear them, but you don't let it stab you. You don't take their words and be like, he said this.
Yeah. The purpose for most people in a relationship is, when you talk to me, my purpose usually will be in a relationship is to be right. And the purpose when someone make you wrong, when someone attack you, is actually to help him to know that he has been understood. If that's your purpose, then it's okay, because your purpose is not to be right, your purpose is not to communicate with him even. Your purpose is not to transfer a message, nothing. At that moment, he's cuckoo, he's insane. And your only purpose is to get him out of that by letting him know that he was understood. That's all. And if you do that, you will achieve your purpose, which is good relationship. And if you will not, you will not.
And that's what happens in so many relationships.
Yeah, and it's so simple. It's just too simple. And so people that will watch this podcast, people that will see this video, for sure will think, oh yes, but there's no but here. Do it, and you will see it works. Not maybe, 100% of the time. The only variable is, are you willing to go the extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes and simply acknowledging, simply understanding the person.
Are you willing to go the duration? Are you willing to commit and not be like, okay, I had 2 minutes to listen to do this, but it requires 10 or 15 and
or an hour. Or an hour. It's nothing.
Or an hour.
Because you will help that other person in a way that no one else will help him, and you do it with them 1 or 2 or 3 times, and he or she will admire you and will worship you.
I agree, because I've done this with people in my family where I just, and it's improved the relationship tremendously. Like, we have no problems. Like, there's just like love, there's openness. And in the past, when there was like rigids and barriers and tension and this, and it's just not there, all because this method worked so well. I haven't had the opportunity yet to try it in a personal relationship, but
let's fight.
It's hard to fight with you. I think we only ever had one. It was kind of, and you did this exact thing and it worked. I was like, oh. It works.
It
So,
works.
okay. So this is a lot of information on relationships. Why do people keep looking for somebody else?
So
Like, why can't they find someone they like? Why do they have this, like, the eye on the door, the eye on the next thing?
Because the idea that they put out there that they need to find something, you know, there are three types of people.
Only
People
three.
that stuck, only three. People that stuck in the past. People that stuck in the future, and they are stuck in the future. And effective people. People that work in present time.
So they're stuck in the future.
Yeah, why? Because the past happened, and it's gone. It's gone. So to look at the past is insanity. The definition of the word insanity is not doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's the definition of tenacity. I'm sorry to upset
ruin
people.
that one.
Yeah. Definition of the word insanity is attention stuck in the past. So the past is insane. The future is as insane. Why? Because the future is always in the future. The future never arrived. So you can either be insanely in the past, or you can be insanely in the future, or you can be effective and be in present time. And of course, we need to define what is present time, etc. But when you're effective, the only reason you're effective is because you create. Now, when a person wants something else, he is stuck in the future. When a person is upset about a certain behavior, he's stuck in the past. But insane, not just a little bit, cuckoo of the chart. And those people that are looking all the time will never find. And those people that crying about what they lost will never find. And those people that are effective, that actually making a decision and closing a cycle of action and going for it and deciding, okay, this is what I'm doing, that's it, that is good, end of cycle. Those people get somewhere.
Okay, so I'm just having like a nice reorganization moment from hearing this. I hadn't thought about how insane it is, like that it was attention stuck in the future, because I always found it so strange. So is this okay? This is like the living for someday. Like, people are here, but the whole time they're just thinking about someday when it all magically works out, when I actually find the person I love or have the dream job. And I've always found this like perplexing, like you know, I have goals, so I think about the future, but I didn't really understand how it was playing out until just this moment.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. Great. Okay. So what you're saying here, I want to re-articulate this point because it's a big wow for me. So what you're saying is that people who are with somebody that they like and they're having a good time, but they pursue other people, or they go on they go on other dates, or they have this idea like monogamy is somehow bad, because that's a big one here in Miami. People are very much like, well, you know, I want to live life for the moment.
Yeah. When someone say, I want to live life for the moment, it's only because he cannot live life for the moment, because people that can will not say that.
You don't need to do crazy shit.
Really, listen to that really carefully. If a person tells you, I want to live life for the moment, is because he never been in the moment. If a person will tell you, I want to be successful, is because he's a failure. If a person tell you, I am ethical, it's because he's not. You really have to listen to what people say. If they want to live life for the moment, it means they don't have a clue what the moment is.
So I hear this a lot, like, well, you know, I'm just living for the moment, and it's a justification for doing things that hooking
Excuses.
up. Excuses. Yeah.
Because if it was good, then they will not go to work, because work is for the future. They will not eat healthy because it's for the future. They will not go to the gym because it's for the future. They will not study because it's for the future. So it's nonsense. You understand? Because they say, I want to live for the moment, but actually they don't live for the moment, because what they do is actually they either stuck in the past or stuck in the future, because those people that live for the moment for real actually create. And when you create something, it is so perfect, because perfection is the moment of creation. So if something that you have is not perfect, that you need something else, it means that you are either in the past or in the future, but for sure it means you're insane.
So there's a lot of insane people.
100%.
Okay.
If you look if you look around, you will see that most people don't achieve what they want to achieve. Most people don't have money. Most people cannot owe money. Most people don't do what they actually want to do. Even if they tell you, well, I just want that girl, but actually they don't, because the next day they want someone else. So obviously it's not the girl that they wanted. So,
but why is that a thing? Like they say, like that exact thing.
So most people actually failing most of the time.
I agree.
So that fail most of the time, failure is a manifestation of insanity. Failure, manifestation of insanity. Sane people succeed because sane people create. Failure is a manifestation of insanity. You really have to confront that. You really have to look at that.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm not failing at I'm confronting that full on. So failure is a manifestation of insanity. So I'm gonna think back at things that I've failed. There's not many things I think about that I failed at anymore. Hold on, let me try to dig up a failure. It's been a problem.
Failure. You teach someone yoga. You teach someone some position. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You teach them some position, and they cannot do that. They cannot do that not because they cannot do that practically, is because the instruction that you gave them went through some kind of a filter from the past, which means they're insane, and so they fail. When that past filter goes away and they actually duplicate what you say, they can very easily do that, and so they succeed. And success means validated improvement.
I actually had this experience just last night. I was at a New Year's Eve party and trying to show someone how to do kind of a funny yoga pose, but that I knew she could do, but she couldn't duplicate the information. So she didn't believe her body could do it. So I used my body to adjust her and put her in the position to prove it was possible. But the issue was that she couldn't duplicate the engagements of elbow placement and I know why, because they think they can, and they have all of this other information there.
Failure is the manifestation of insanity. End of story.
That's a big wow. I feel like we got another t-shirt. That's 2 t-shirts in this podcast. We are a solid. I mean, if the whole causative meditation doesn't work out, we could definitely go into rad spiritual t-shirt manufacturing. I'm just saying.
With the podcast, you'll see that there are a few more.
Yeah, probably. So now, before you get your next call, I want to talk about monogamy, because this is one that a lot of people struggle with. It's not one that I personally have ever struggled with, because if I like someone, there's no consideration of somebody else. But I think I have a different wired brain, because it's never been an issue personally for me, but it's an issue for a lot of my friends, and I have a big confusion around this. Even people that agree with monogamy have impulses or they cheat, and then there's a lot of people that really think that monogamy is not the right choice, that humans should be polyamorous, and they create their primary partner, secondary partner, third partner, or there's a third group of people that are polyamorous and they give no hierarchy. So I find all of this very confusing, because if I could just find one, I would be great, because I got other things to do. So it's hard to navigate though, because I get a lot of questions about this, and I'm like, why is it such an issue?
lot of problems. You want 5.
It just seems like a huge amount of drag. I'm like, why would you find one good person and make something awesome? But as a teacher, I have to confront this, and I don't have an answer. So could you help me?
So first of all, the punishment for having more than one wife is having more than one mother-in-law.
And more than one husband is.
No, that's not. No,
it's not possible. Come on, Meir. I think I could succeed at that.
Okay, so the reason, again, it's too simple. But simplicity is power. If you don't know how to create a relationship, no one taught you ever how to create a relationship. You don't know the laws of relationship. You just hope that relationship somehow you know how to do it. If you don't know how to create relationship, if you don't understand the laws of a relationship, if you don't understand the laws of what destroy relationship, if you don't understand what the relationship destroyers are, if you don't understand that, is like driving a car without knowing how to drive a car, or flying, even worse, flying an F-15 or F-16 without knowing how to fly a jet plane or fighter jet. It is fun, but dangerous. It always ends up in a crash. You need to learn. You need to learn how to fly this thing that's called the relationship. And no one taught you that. No one gave you a method.
We're doing that in Peru.
How to create a relationship, how to maintain a relationship, and how to fix a relationship, and how to prevent relationship from being destroyed by relationship destroyers. You need to know those 4 parts, and if you don't, you will not have relationship. And your relationship, the quality of your relationship, will determine how Jewish you are, how much money you will make, and how healthy you are, and how happy you are. And this is really fascinating, but the quality of your relationship is what determines it. It's not what I'm saying, it's the longest research in history that has been done by MIT over many people. One of those people in that research, by the way, became a president of the United States. So it is quite fascinating, the longest ongoing research in history, and that's what they found. They found that the quality of the relationship define how healthy, how happy, and how wealthy you are.
And and the relationships in your life, and we're not just talking about your intimate relationship, we're talking about friendships, family, is something you create, is what I hear you saying, is that, so the quality of your relationships is something you create, but only if you know how.
But it's a little bit more, because what about the relationship with your body?
Oh, that's good. We're good.
When last time did you talk to your brain? When last time did you actually control your heart? When last time did you actually control your land? When last time did you actually control your eyes? You will see that most people see that most people don't actually control their body. Even if they know to move it, they don't control it, because I see that they get manifestation on their skin, on pain, discomfort, etc., that is not what they put there. So most people actually do not control their body. Of course, most people don't actually control themselves, the spirit. They don't even know what the spirit is.
Possible.
Yes, they don't even know what is it. So of course, if you know what it is, how can you control something you don't know? Most people don't, all people don't control their mind. Number one, it's very seldom that someone actually know what the mind is, and they think that the mind is the brain, is the cousin of the spirit divided by 7.
Oh, that's not it? It's divided by 8. I'm sorry, I had the wrong.
Yeah. So they don't have even a basic definition of what it is. So no future. The relationship with your body, the relationship with you, the relationship with other people, the relationship that you have with your family, the relationship that you have within your groups, the relationship with animals, with life forms, the relationship with the physical universe. How many people actually understand how this screen that they're looking at actually operates?
I understand it much better after studying with you, because you explained a lot about pixels in such a simple way. Of course, you went into other things then we won't mention now, but I understand so much more just about my computer. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. So most people don't understand almost anything around them, like really. And it's hard to actually believe. It sounds like I'm an extremist, but no, I'm not. I'm actually watering it a lot down. I've talked tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, and I can tell you, for sure, people don't know. They think that they know.
They think they know. Again and again, I teach a lot of different stuff, and you tell people to do something with their arm, like you say, extend your arm over your head, and it would make sense to actually align it, but you'll see every variation of hand position except one that makes sense, which is actually, a straight line. There's just a simple thing like control your hand, what I'm teaching, and I give very precise instruction for the placement of every finger and what the fingernails should be doing and the tip of the finger, and people can't even find their fingertip, let alone, now if you can't even find your fingertip and control it, how are you going to direct your relationships? How are you going to direct your... So there's a lot to learn, but why, this is the other thing that kills me, is why are people not more curious?
Oh, they are, but they had lots of failures.
That's what stops them.
And so many failures on being curious that they think that it's impossible. So people that come to my seminars, once they realize that there is no such thing as complex thing, there's nothing complicated in this. Everything is simple. If it's not simple, it's a lie. That's my law. If it's not simple,
we need to create a failure detox.
Sorry?
I just heard that we need to create a failure detox.
Yeah, failure detox, yes.
Because there's been too many failures. So somehow there has to be an out processing of failures where people actually are willing to try something.
People are generally blind. And what do I know? How do I know that they're blind? Because they don't see all the love around them. You see, people are blind and I know that they're blind because they don't see all the love around them, because the only blindness there is the blindness to love.
I understand, but you didn't answer my question about monogamy.
Oh, yes, you're right. Monogamy. Okay.
I'm on you. I have a list, darling.
No problem.
We had some sunsets, so I do adjust my lighting here a little bit. The sun went down here in Miami.
Ah, okay. You look good. You don't need to adjust anything.
That's my day job. Look, thank you. I acknowledge your compliment.
Thank you.
So tell me about monogamy.
Okay, good. So the reason people look for other relationships is because they cannot create, or they are not creating the current one.
So it's a way of, like, it's a low level creating.
If I have a car that continuously get improved every week, I get a new car and it's a better car of the one that I just had.
Sounds like you're driving my car.
It's always the best. Yeah, and it's always the best. Will I want another car? No, because it's the best car, always the best. I always get it improved. Every day it's automatically getting improved. It's a special car that the manufacturer installed in it, a special update that every day it gets improved. Will I look for another car? No, because this car will be so much excitement and so new and so much, like I wouldn't be able to experience so much good in that car, yes? But if I have a car that I purchased 30 years ago and I did not maintain and I did not use much, and the only time that I used it is when I punched it, when I got upset, I would not really use that car. I would not like it. So I would look for another car. But the problem with the other car is that I will use it once or twice and then I will punch it again and look for another car. So that will not be good. In a good relationship, in a relationship that you know what you're doing, you get a new relationship every single day, a few times per day. I'm married for 30 something years. I can tell you it can be done, and it's beautiful and it's unbelievable.
That was another quote. I think we're 3 for 3 at least. I mean, that was really solid. When you know how to have a relationship, you really know how to create it, you get a new relationship several times a day. So the only reason that you're jumping out and looking for other people is because you failed at creating.
Yeah, you don't know how to create, and you think that new one will create for you. You hope that that thing will create for you. It's a method of dropping responsibility. So you think, oh, this lady, and then what's happened is that lady is not it, and you say, well, she's not what I thought. Well, you say she's not what I thought. She's cause I'm effect. So you become even more effect, and even more effect, and even more effect.
You become more and more effect.
Yeah.
And this is the state that I see people are in, is they're not able to make a decision. They're definitely not creating relationship, and they're totally affected by anything that happens with anything that's dramatic or troublesome or problematic. No ability to confront. They run from it and just look for another, thinking that somehow with another person it'll work out magically different. And what I hear you saying is that actually
dramatic in their life, nothing. Because if I would look at this thing that they call traumatic, I would not even blink.
I know.
For them, dramatic. Because they don't know. They just don't know. They don't have the knowledge. If they will gain the knowledge, it will become nothing. It's like before you had the knowledge on how to dig a tunnel through a mountain, it was a nightmare. It was dramatic. It was basically impossible. Now that we know how to do it, you just press a button and you get 2 people on a tractor and they do that, yes? So it's relatively easy, yes? So if you don't know, it's difficult. Anything that is difficult, you need to know that difficulty is an indication of lack of knowledge. That's all. Difficulties is just a manifestation of lack of knowledge. That's all. So if you have a difficulty, all you have to do is come and learn. And the beautiful thing about what we do is that I guarantee the result. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing. I take all the risk. You just come, you learn, and you get result.
Yeah, so I feel like I got a lot of results already from this podcast. It's good. I feel like when I have people come to me, because this is a regular thing, and I feel like I'm not able to really give relationship advice because I'm not in them a lot, and so I don't know what to say, and I don't have a lot of the same considerations and the same kind of issues that people are having. So it's hard for me to even know how to. But this really helped. This is a lot of clarity. So is there anything else that you want to add to our exploration of relationships today?
Join the relationship seminar
in Peru.
Yeah, I will have some webinars first, just to introduce you to some of the relationship destroyers and give you some data, so you will have immediately something that you can use, so you don't need to wait for the seminar. So join the webinars. The webinars will lead to a full seminar, and the webinars are generally for free, so you have just join and change. And then I will, once you learn enough, I will ask you to register to the main seminars. My main seminars are extremely expensive. Get ready for that. And they're expensive for a reason, because I want you to learn how to make money. And they're expensive for you now, maybe, but once you've learned how to make money, you'll see it's nothing. And how do you make money? You improve your relationship.
It's true. You are 100% right. I can attest to this in my personal life. We've been working together now since August. Well, I mean, I was following you before that for about 2 months. So, and one of the, all of the things you say, and a lot of it's really simple. A lot of it's simple stuff like communicate. I mean, just like a week ago, one of my things, I came back from Peru and I needed some more money. And I was like, wow, I would really like to have some more money. I don't have work scheduled until, the end of January. So I was like, well, what did Meir say? Communicate. So I just made like a post about doing a therapeutic, like thinking about doing a therapeutic program, because I'm filming this whole month on that subject. And it literally sold out in 2 days. I was like, I could hold one in my home studio. Sold out in 2 days. It was so simple. I was like, okay, now I have more money. So it really works.
Once you know it's simple, and if it's not simple, it simply contain a lights. If it's not simple, it simply won't be. When it is simple, it's powerful. When it's not simple, it's difficult. So really, life is simple once you know, and I'm here to teach you. Come,
excellent.
It's free.
So you will be able to look at all upcoming courses and podcasts and video information at causativemeditation.com. So feel free to email us and contact us, info@causativemeditation.com. And we are looking forward to connecting with you in the future.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Bye.